I'm completely overhauling my training method on the way I hire people and train people away from what corporate Subway has originally designed. By default, Subway has a system called Sandwich Artistry that they want people to go through. It's a mixture of online and in-store training, and it's kind of, they learn everything. They learn how to bake bread, they learn how to make the sandwiches, then they learn how to clean what the freezer is, like top to bottom, which is okay, but I think there's a better way. What I am ultimately trying to do, I'm trying to get people from the floor, so when they first come in, from the floor to mastering their shift much quicker. I'm trying to shorten that gap of time between being a complete newbie to really owning and mastering your shift. Instead of having them, hey, like you got to work an opening shift, like say they have 4 training days, they work one of each shift training, and I feel like they only retain about 40% of the information whenever they only have a little time on each shift. You know, it's because it's so much information getting thrown at you at once. So I'm swapping over to a new system, and I'm going to try it out. And basically what I'm doing when I hire people, they're going to come in and focus only on their shift. I am swapping away from having people work multiple shift types. From now on, people will either be like just an opener, just a closer, just a day person, just an evening person, and they won't be alternating between shifts in the beginning. They'll have one shift that they will get to master. The way I do my checklist system throughout their shift, it'll also serve as their training material, because that's what they're going to have to focus on every day when they come into work, will be those same tasks. They're not going to have to learn what 5 to 8 does. They're not going to need to learn what a closer does, unless they are actually training or being hired for that exact shift. So if they're hiring to be like let's just say my lunch person, not my opener, but my lunch assist person, they will just come in, learn how to like restock chips properly, bottle drinks properly, and how to make sandwiches, how to change out our sauces, how FIFO works, all of those. But it's a lot less material for them to take in. So going from newbie to master is going to be so much faster. And I think that's going to allow me to really have better employees in the long run, because they every day when they go to work, they have mastered that one shift. Now, I'm also building what I'm calling a skill tree. If you've ever played any MMOs like World of Warcraft or anything like that, or you've seen like a talent tree, you're going to be somewhat familiar with this, although it's adapted to for my employees. And I'm probably going to make a dedicated video on this because it's not quite done yet. I'm still developing it. And honestly, if it goes good, like I'm hoping it does, I might turn it into my own dedicated app that they can download and use and things like that. But ultimately what it is, right now, in its current form, it's just a Google spreadsheet, but there's little tick boxes. And there's training associated with these tick boxes. It goes linear in scale, so it goes left to right. They know exactly what they need to learn to unlock to get to the next box. So it might be like menu level 1, 2, 3, POS for the register, 1, 2, 3, food safety, things like that for the beginning. And as they check them all off, they unlock rewards after they get through each section. Each reward might be like $1 an hour raise, 50-cent raise an hour, as they go up until the max. Now, once they max out, I plan on adding achievements. So they can also unlock achievements, would give them cash bonuses as they do these things. Just for an example, it might be like, get 3 5-star reviews on Google for the store where the person specifically mentions your name. Get $25 when you hit the 3rd one. Maybe it could be help land a catering order, bring in an outside catering order, get people to cater with us, unlock that achievement bonus. Things like that. It's not, like I said, it's not fully developed, so some of these ideas are just rough ideas right now. Nothing's been kind of fine-tuned, but that is the goal. So that way it does multiple things. One, it's going to let me have people that are kind of self-taught or leaders that want to kind of learn and grow. It's going to allow me to easily see who those employees are. And it's also going to let them also work towards their own bonuses. They don't have to wait for X amount of time at the store. They don't have to wait for, me to, remember it or whatever, the case might be. They can just send me a message, be like, hey, I'm ready to take so some of the stuff will have like a quiz attached to it. They're going to send me a message, like, hey, I'm ready to take my quiz on the menu level 3. I go over to Kahoot. I don't know if you don't know what Kahoot is, you can make these little quizzes, and I'm going to have some of these attached to some of the check boxes. They can take their quiz, they pass it, they move up. Some of the check boxes will be more performance-based, like making a order from when you greet the person all the way until they're fully checked out, beginning to end, in 2 minutes or less. Little things like that. So some of them will be observed, in which I can observe 90% of it or more over the cameras, things like that. So that's another system I have in place. So between changing my training and hiring method to this, I think I'm gonna have a lot easier time getting employees that really know what they're doing a lot quicker and help. I think it's gonna help me help them to be more successful faster. Another thing that I'm doing is during my hiring process, my interview sheet is actually a Google form. I have all my interviews kind of templated questions, so that way every interview is the same. There's no, I forgot to ask them this or that. This person, interviews were different. Everybody gets the same interview, so I can judge people based on their answers and similar performances, right? During the interview, I'm deciding right then and there if I want to hire the person. If I do want to hire them, I am adding them to Subway team access, our group chat, everything right then and there. I'm getting their shirt size, everything they need, and streamlining that process. So they're going from an interview, and then instead of having to wait for a few days for me to decide, getting them put onto the apps, and which sometimes can be confusing if they take it home and try to download the apps. They don't know what they're doing. I can help them right then and there in person, get fully connected into our system, have them go do the digital training at home as a prerequisite, come in, get them start doing their in-store training, and just streamline that entire process. So that's another thing that we're doing. So between the interview streamlined, the training being streamlined, and then my skill tree, I'm really hoping that it boosts and makes that whole process much easier. If y'all are interested in kind of how my skill tree looks, when it is done, I'd like to share it with you guys and kind of show y'all what that's about. That might be a system that y'all want to implement at your own stores, or maybe you've had one already or you've done in the past. I'd like to hear about that as well, because maybe there's some features or ideas I can tweak and add to mine. And another thing with the skill tree, I think it's going to help me find people that want to be leaders, that want to grow into like managers, that want to grow into like running their own store, because they're going to push towards those requirements that I have set to be a manager. They're going to develop their own skill tree and pursue those kind of things past maybe other people. It'll help me really see what kind of character that person has, work ethic, without really having to be there so much as well. And then as these people continue to learn, they can obviously cross-train and learn how to do other shifts, take over other roles, little things like that. But if y'all got any ideas for like achievements that I can use to help them unlock little fun bonuses along the way, it could be free Subway swag, it could be cash, it could be whatever, The reward doesn't matter as much as the achievement ideas, because I can always find a reward that's suiting. Another like achievement I had was like cover X amount of shifts for somebody who decided they couldn't come in that day, right? Something like that. Be that person that says, hey, that steps up. Say, hey, I'll cover that shift. Go X amount of days without missing work. Just little like things that are not really hard to do. It's things they should be doing anyway. Rewarding the people who are already good workers. And then also turning them from sandwich artists into like sandwich salesmen, because I definitely want to include some upsell stuff in there, catering stuff, getting them actively involved in the business, at least as involved as they can be through like upselling, cookie contests, promotions in store, and them getting bonuses and fun little things attached to that. So that's it for my new streamlined hiring, training, and reward process. Let me know what you think. See you in the next one.